Good evening. Call to order the Tuesday, January 27th, 6 p.m. school board meeting. Let's rise for a moment of silence. Now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have the FBC formality singers singing the national anthem.
You see by the dawn's early light, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, shines and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red black, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through our night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? Order. Arms. Right. Ice. Over. Arch.
Thank you. You may be seated. That was the FPC Air Force JROTC, led by Master Sergeant Gardner Holland. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to our special announcements. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get roll call, please?
Olivia Delgado, FPC.
Ava Muldoon. Lauren Ramirez, present.
Janie Ruddy, present.
Furry, present.
Christy Chong, present.
LaShakia.
Okay, now for our special announcements.
We will start with item 2.02, Black History Month proclamation. The presenter is Mr. John Winston.
Welcome, Mr. Winston.
Working united together for one cause. Whereas the recognition of Black History Month is a time to salute and educate our students about the contributions and sacrifices of Americans of African and Caribbean descent to our nation's culture and history, and whereas we celebrate the establishment of Black History Month, which began on February 12, 1926, and expanded in 1976 as part of the then nation's bicentennial in recognition of the humanity and perseverance of people who survived against incredible historical odds to help shape our future and this nation. And whereas, in educating the children in this public K through 12 system, it is appropriate that all children learn and reflect upon and cherish the contributions that citizens of African and Caribbean descent have made to our nation in the realms of the arts, business, civil rights, education, entertainment, military, music, law, medicine, politics, religion, science, and much, much more. And whereas in 2002, the African American Mentor Program, our AMP as it is called, was designed specifically to close the reading achievement gap for males, with the girls division added in 2011. To date, the AMP has served more than it says 1,900 here, but it's over 2,300 students as of today, from elementary to high school. And whereas the graduation rate for African American students continues to increase, this is indicative of our students and families accessing quality educational opportunities provided by our organization, this outstanding school district, and using it as the foundation for a successful post-secondary career and quality life. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Flagler County School Board that we designate the month of February 2026 as Black History Month in Flagler County Public Schools, adopted by the Flagler County School Board on the 27th of January 2026. Christy Chong, Chairman, School Board of Flagler County. LaShakia Moore, Superintendent, Flagler Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Winston, for that proclamation. Would you like to take a picture, Mr. Winston? Okay, now Mr. Evans for our career and technical education presenter.
Good evening. All right. I guess I just read. Is that what we're doing here? All right.
Sir.
So this is a resolution of the Flagler County School Board recognizing February 2026 as Career and Technical Education Month in Flagler County. Whereas Career and Technical Education, otherwise known as CTE, serves as the backbone of a strong, well-educated workforce, offers lifelong learning opportunities, and contributes to Florida's leadership in the national and international marketplace. And whereas increasing the availability to all Floridians of high-quality CTE programs and credentials is a priority and provides Floridians with a school-to-career connection, helping students experience practical and meaningful applications of numerous skills. And whereas secondary schools in all 67 school districts, all 28 Florida colleges, and 48 technical colleges and centers offer high-quality CTE coursework, certifications, skills-based education, degrees, and co-curricular programs. And whereas nearly 800,000 K-12 CTE students, representing the highest number of CTE students enrolled at the K-12 level in the state's history, more than 380,000 post-secondary CTE students, and over 17,000 registered apprentices engaged in workforce education. And whereas locally, almost 4,000 secondary students are currently enrolled in one of the 116 registered career and technical education courses, and whereas in 2025, Flagler School students successfully earned 329 digital tool certifications and 976 specialized industry certifications scattered amongst the 24 different certifications offered. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Flagler County School Board that February 2026 is recognized as Career and Technical Education Month. And be it further resolved that Flagler County Schools supports the valuable work of its career and technical educators in doing their part to positively impact our district, provide meaningful opportunities to our students, and create a more qualified workforce for our community. Adopted by the Flagler County School Board on the 27th day of January 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Evans.
And thank you. And by the way, I probably should introduce myself. I know most of you, but Martin Evans, and I am the CTE specialist from the Teaching and Learning Department here in Flagler County Schools.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
down tonight and reading that
Thank you.
proclamation.
Appreciate it.
All right, 2.04 Teen Dating Awareness Month presenter by our student school board members, Olivia Delgado and Ava Muldoon.
A resolution of the Flagler County School Board recognizing February 2026 as Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month.
Whereas the Flagler School Board is committed to the well-being and protection of our youth, the safety of our communities, and fostering a society based upon mutual respect for one another, with a zero tolerance for any forms of victimization and abuse. And
Whereas teen dating violence is a serious crime that affects 1 in 3 teens and can involve physical, sexual, verbal, emotional, economic, or other abusive behavior, including harassment and cyberbullying via texting, emailing, instant messaging, or posting on social media. And
whereas women who are 16 to 24 in age are more vulnerable to intimate partner violence, experiencing abuse at a rate nearly triple the national average. And
whereas dating violence affects teens across all races, genders, religions, nationalities, and socioeconomic statuses. And
whereas the 2026 theme is Real Love Respects. This theme advocates that respecting someone isn't just a vague idea, it's an action and a mindset. The theme also highlights the importance of treating partners with dignity. It listens to their viewpoints, respecting their boundaries, and valuing their autonomy by focusing on respect.
now therefore be it proclaimed by the Flagler County School Board that they hereby declare February 2026 as National Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month in Flagler County, and applaud the efforts of the many victim service providers, police officers, prosecutors, national and community organizations, and private sector supporters for their efforts in promoting awareness about teen dating violence.
Adopted by the Flagler County School Board on the 27th of January 2026 by Ms. Chair Christy Chong and Superintendent LaShakia.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, 3.01, our superintendent's strategic plan spotlight.
Good evening. Happy 101st day of school. Super excited to share that today at our 1 p.m. Workshop, we had an extensive strategic plan update. We focus on operational efficiency. So instead of taking this time to rehash that, I urge folk to go back and watch that portion of the workshop from today at 1 p.m. Again, we focus on operational efficiency. We also announced that we are going into another iteration of our strategic plan. And if you as a community, if you have input you want to provide on areas that we should focus, we ask that you go to our website. You can provide that input through Contact Us. We are also going to be sending out surveys in the coming weeks to get feedback from families as well as from our students, our staff, and our community related to the next iteration of our strategic plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Okay, 3.02, Flagler County Education Spotlight. Ms. Teresa?
Good evening, Chair, board members, and Superintendent. Before I begin our spotlight, I would just like to spotlight Mr. Don Foley and Carrie Henderson for a fabulous evening last night celebrating our Teachers and Employees of the Year. We look forward to hosting them at dinner. It gets better and better every year. I also want to spotlight Mr. Martin Evans. He read the proclamation for CTE. He has been an incredible partner with the Education Foundation in our Classroom to Careers programs. The relationship and collaboration with him is quite impactful, and we're excited to work more with him in the future. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to take a few minutes to let us spotlight what's currently happening and what's coming up with the Education Foundation. First, I want to highlight our middle school, college, and career fairs, which continue to grow and impact each year. The Indian Trails Middle School Career Fair was tremendous success and truly gets better and better every year. This Friday, we're excited to host one at Buddy Taylor Middle School. And thank you, Mr. Furry, for shouting us out in this afternoon's workshop. We appreciate that. Hosting these fairs at the middle school level at this time of year is truly intentional. It gives students an early exposure to career pathways and helps them begin thinking about which programs to study that they may want to pursue in high school, setting them up for more intentional and informed choices. On February 3rd, in partnership with Advent Health and NASCAR, we are thrilled to bring the number 3 Advent Health stock car to Matanzas High School and Flagler Palm Coast High School. Identified classes will have the opportunity to view the car and learn more about career opportunities with Advent Health and a broader healthcare and motorsports industries. This is a powerful example of how real-world learning and community partnerships come together for our students. This will be the first time that the show car has ever been showed at schools and ever anywhere in the United States. So we are so excited to host them. Lots of planning meetings. Please come out and join us at either Matanzas or FPC. On February 17th, we're going to host our annual Mardi Gras Gala, which benefits our Take Stock in Children and our Senior Scholarship Program. This is a night filled with lots of great food, fantastic fun, and extraordinary people all coming together to support our Flagler County seniors for their next steps beyond high school. And finally, we've all felt that it has gotten much cooler, and many of our students are in need of some warm clothing. So our Stuff Bus is actively collecting winter clothing. We welcome businesses to host the bus in the community, or community members are able to drop donations off right here at the Government Service Building. A simple donation can really make a meaningful difference for a student right now. Thank you again for the opportunity to share these highlights and for your continued support of the Education Foundation. We are grateful to work alongside you to ensure every student in Flagler County has the resources they need to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Teresa Rizzo. Okay, we will move on to the approval of minutes. 4.01 through 4.03. The chair will entertain a motion for approval.
Move approval?
Motion by Mr. Furry and second by Ms. Ruddy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, 5.01, do we have any additions or changes to the agenda?
Yes, we do. I want to inform the board that since the workshop meeting 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, the date escapes me, I think it was the 13th, we did pull the student school board policy, which was policy 0141.01. We pulled that to do some additional revisions before we bring it back before the board. So we do anticipate bringing that, but it is pulled from tonight's agenda if anyone was prepared to see that tonight. Outside of that, we do not have any additional changes that have happened since the last meeting and no changes to this agenda.
Thank you, Superintendent Moore. We'll move on to public comment.
One moment,
sorry.
Board Chair, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh.
Go ahead. Ms. Ruddy, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to pull from the consent to be voted on separately, the Chief of Human Resources job description, please. 10.02. Yes,
Do you want that to go to action?
yes, please, thank you.
Okay, we'll move that. Any other additions or changes? Okay, none, we will move on.
As modified.
We have a
Second.
Okay, thank you. Motion by Mr. Furry and seconded by Ms. Ruddy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And carries. Okay, moving on to 6.01. Do we have anybody for public comment?
Have Dr. Myra Middleton Valentine.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Dr. Myra Middleton Valentine, and I am standing before you representing the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Chi Delta Omega chapter here in Flagler County. And we are, unfortunately, did not get on the agenda tonight, but we could not miss this opportunity to present a special award and proclamation to our school board superintendent, Mrs. LaShakia Moore, who is also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. On January 18th, we recognized 4 phenomenal women for their work in the community through service as a part of our 118th Founders Day. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority is the oldest African-American sorority in the United States, and we service international locations as well. We were founded at Howard University, January 15, 1908. As one of our Women of Excellence, the superintendent was selected because of her outstanding contributions to our students, to our community, to scholarship, to the integrity that she presents here in our community. And as a member of our sorority, we could not be more proud of everything that she has done. And we appreciate her, and we appreciate the support that you all give her in the community. I'd like to have the members that are represented stand, and I'd like to ask if you would just give us a moment. I know we're going to probably take more than 3 minutes, but we have a proclamation that was presented by the Palm Coast City Mayor, Mayor Norris. And if I may, I'd like to have that proclamation read. May we do that, please?
Board, is that okay?
Yeah, we can just, it'd be additional time for each person gets 3 minutes, so we can do that. Yeah.
Thank you. She's the additional 3-minute person.
Good evening. I am going to read the proclamation that was read to our gathered assembly on January 18th. Proclamation, whereas Ms. LaShakia Moore is an active member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and embodies the mission of service, scholarship, and sisterhood, and whereas she has demonstrated exceptional dedication to educational excellence through her distinguished career as an educator, teacher support colleague, curriculum specialist, principal, director of teaching and learning, assistant superintendent for academic services, and now superintendent of Flagler Schools following a unanimous appointment. And whereas Superintendent Moore is the first African-American superintendent of Flagler County Schools and an engaged member of the Florida Association of District School Superintendents, and whereas she has cultivated a culture of collaboration, growth, and continuous improvement, empowering educators and inspiring students to achieve success, and whereas her steadfast commitment to serving children, families, and teachers extends far beyond measurable outcomes, strengthening the future of public education in our community. And whereas, guided by her faith and personal motto, I do not want to be famous, I want to be impactful, Superintendent Moore continues to lead with purpose and vision. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Palm Coast, Florida, that January 18th, 2026 be declared as Women of Excellence Day, and recognize and honor Superintendent LaShakia Moore for her significant and lasting contributions to our community. Signed this 18th day of January 2026, attested by Kathy Cook, City Clerk, and the Honorable Michael Norris, Mayor, City of Palm Coast.
And the award reads, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Chi Delta Omega Chapter, Woman of Excellence, Sora LaShakia, and Sora is what we call our members, LaShakia Moore, Founders Day 2026. And you have to see this beautiful award that we're presenting to her, and we'd ask if she would stand and receive this award, please. Thank you all so much for allowing us this opportunity.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Okay. Any other public comments? Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to Finance 7.01 to 7.07. Can I get a motion, please?
Move to approve.
Moved by Ms. Ramirez and second by Mr. Furry. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. And Academic Services 9.01 to 9.06.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Furry and second by Ms. Ruddy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, moving on to Human Resource Services Consent 10.01 to 10.07. May I have a motion to approve?
Board Chair?
Yes.
Just one correction. As a reminder, 10.02 is being pulled out separately.
Yes,
So exclusive of 10.02, just to clarify.
excluding 10.02.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion? Okay. Moved by Mr. Furry,
Second.
second by Ms. Ramirez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, Operational Services Consent 11.01 to 11.02. Can I get a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Ruddy and second by Mr. Furry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Superintendent consent 12.01 to 12.03. Can I get a motion?
Move approval?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Furry and second by Ms. Ruddy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we will move to action 18.01, Human Resource Services, and that will be what was 10.02, the job description. Can I get a motion?
Move approval.
Do I have a second? For discussion?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Furry and second by Ms. Ramirez for discussion.
Board Chair,
Yes, Ms.
may I
Ruddy.
be recognized to speak?
Go ahead, Ms. Ruddy.
Thank you. During the workshop for this job description, I shared some thoughts relative to the qualifications outlined. Currently, we have listed in the job description 3 qualifications and a brief summary of knowledge, skills, and abilities. While I understand that our City of Palm Coast, we may think our applicant pool might be limited. In today's world, people move for careers. This level of seniority with a Chief Human Resources Officer role would attract folks who would be eager to live in our wonderful community. And as such, I would want to ensure that this role lists the qualifications that are essential to help us navigate our challenges that we have moving forward, which can include mediation, having to deal with lawsuits. We have some administrative salary schedules that need to be rehoned. We have a disproportionate salary schedule for experienced teachers that is handcuffed by state legislature. All of this is a really seasoned veteran that would need to be able to deal with these particular issues. And so my view is to add to the qualifications the need for some of that director experience and one of the HR professional certifications, if not a requirement within the job description to earn such certification within 6 months. Thank you.
So director experience and certifications. Any other comments?
No, I just wanted to clarify, may I have the floor?
Yes.
So
Mr. Furry.
just a clarification on the request for the change, Ms. Ruddy. You just want to add that that person had 6 months of experience? Did I hear that right?
No, the clarification was that if that particular HR certification was not held previously, that if we felt that person was the right fit, that they must earn it within 6 months of taking the role.
Which specific certification?
There are a variety of HR certifications that would be appropriate. I think one of the most recognized one is the SHRM certification. My concern is that on this job description, our qualifications list educational leadership, which means what we're stating is that somebody from a principalship would be able to take the helm of an entire county and manage the personnel. And I believe Flagler Schools, as such, has outgrown that particular demand and requires a more robust background. And so by modifying qualification number 2, we're looking for somebody with a much more in-depth experience relative to personnel management at a larger organization.
You also mentioned director experience.
Correct, because a chief, if you think of a company, a chief executive officer, a chief financial officer, chief operations officer, these are all roles that come at the end stages when you're at your peak of knowledge and skills in that area. So the job description is written here does not require even any past management experience, as I see. And so to go from even manager to chief human resource officer in a typical organization is quite a step in itself. Typically, that would be manager, senior manager, director, VP, and then chief. So I'm asking for, or potentially a director or equivalent type of role, so that we get that experience we're looking for and need.
Okay.
I think my only concern is if we exclude too many people. I'm with you, though, on the certifications.
Madam Chair, may I speak?
Ms. Ramirez, go ahead.
So, in overall, January 13th, when we discussed it at the workshop, I really do support the whole job description. I would like to propose, a post-hire requirement, so not a specific certification title, but it could be something equivalent to like a public sector HR compliance training. I don't know about the time frame. 6 months may seem a little too short, but I do agree just having that HR specific certification, and there's just general different ones, but not a time frame, because it is an HR position. I think that would make sense. It would mitigate risk for that role. And I know we talked about it at the workshop. It did sound like that may have been in the process of being added as an option, but researching other districts as well, they do have that criteria as an add-on. So I just think it would make that role, maybe perhaps get it while they're hired, have time to get that credential.
Ms. Moore, is that a realistic ask for like a 6 months or a certain time limit?
When you think about SHRM, it takes anywhere between 200 and 400 hours at the base for SHRM. With someone coming into a new role, I would suggest that we give that individual at least a year that goes into their annual review. So a year to get that certification if they don't already possess something equivalent. I would also add, and I appreciate that Ms. Ruddy did add this around the director level experience or equivalent, because especially if this individual is coming out of a school district, school districts have different titles for different positions within their organization. It's something that we've been working to clear up and clarify, when you say coordinator, what does that mean to the general population director, all of those things. But what we're hearing is director level experience and a HR professional certification, but not a specific certification.
Correct. And perhaps if we're going to extend the length of time to complete such certification, we might add a stipulation to state that there's a timing element in terms of starting. For example, we don't want somebody trying to start such a rigorous certification 10 months in. So perhaps we say, all right, 6 months in, you need to begin that work, and completion within whatever's appropriate based upon the number of hours. I didn't want to pigeonhole it to one. So perhaps as long as they are concurrently working towards that certification after the 6 months, right, that it is then completed within a reasonable time as approved by the superintendent.
Board, could I respectfully be recognized for just a second to add a couple of pieces?
Mr. Owlett, go ahead.
SHRM certification, you can do a few different ways. For example, University of North Florida is currently offering at intermittent times coursework towards SHRM credentialing. So I don't know if there's a way you would like to put it in the requirements that a person would make and continue to make adequate progress as determined by the supervisor within a time period. Let's say the person hired for June ends up missing North Florida's date, and they end up having to be able to sign up for a semester after. That puts them behind. So just in keeping with possibilities, opening a time frame, and just the piece of the puzzle with this, and the reason is looks at job expectations in the preferred range, is because talent concentrates, frankly, around monetary compensation sometimes. And a chief of human resources officer in most of the school districts in the state makes substantially more, along with a lot of senior staff. So if you get hungry young folks who want to learn and grow, and by you opening up to preferred, you'll get those. But you won't compete with Hillsborough and Duval and the districts that pay twice.
May I be recognized, Chair Chong?
Mr. Ramirez, go ahead.
Yeah, and I agree. However, Hillsborough and Duval, they're very, the size is, so of course I would expect for them to make more. So, but no, I do like you mentioning the addition, the time frame and things like that. I think it's that any type of certification, not a specific one, because there are, if you research, there's several different ones, and some of them range in time frame, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months, however many hours, but it's a low cost safeguard for this specific role. But
may I be recognized?
Mr. Furry.
Mr. Delaney, it's been brought up that potentially there could be risks without the certification for somebody in this role. Do you have any insight on that? Is there legal liability for somebody in that position to not have a SHRM certification?
Not so much the certification itself, the lack of certification leading to cause of action. It's training that comes with a nationally recognized human resource help that person spot issues and get legal counsel or assistance from a supervisor as situations are developing and before the district makes a misstep. So it's the professional level training that I think is valuable to help keep the district on the right track. Mr. Willett certainly would have perspective on that, I think, as well.
And do you feel that for the legal oversight that our in-house district attorney, Sven Smith, would be able to step in that area to advise this particular person?
Absolutely. I think that how it gets handled around the state, I think that people that are in charge of human resources for a school district, particularly school districts that are on the smaller side of the median-sized districts for the state, they rely on their legal counsel that they have available to them. They rely on their network of other HR directors for other school districts around the state because there are issues particular to school district employers. But it is helpful for the people in those positions to have a level of professional training from a national organization so they recognize issues, they recognize what questions they need to be asking, they recognize when they need to ask for help.
Now, are there other certifications other than SHRM that facilitate the same thing?
I am familiar with SHRM and HRCI. There may be other nationally recognized organizations out there. And again, I think Mr. Willett might have a better perspective than me.
Could you speak to that, Mr. Willett?
Yes, there are various different credentialing organizations. And obviously, folks who have the specialized degrees in HR come with that acumen that they're probably already working towards it. And she's correct that there's various levels of the SHRM, and that would be the discussion point as to what levels at what time you would want to have. I have several people in my office now that continue and move forward through the SHRM process. So I don't know if you're looking towards a certain level of SHRM certification by a certain time. That would be another piece of the puzzle.
So it sounds like having the SHRM is clearly an added value to the candidate for this job. Here's what my take. I'm not opposed. I think it definitely is a credential that elevates an applicant. But this is a job description to invite applicants. It doesn't mean that someone will be hired specifically if they don't have SHRM. Whenever somebody comes to interview for a job, they bring their best forward, they show all their qualifications, and then it's up to us to vet that candidate and then hire the best one that we have in the application pool. So I don't think that we should restrict it in a way that would deter potentially an excellent qualified candidate that didn't have that one specific certification. So I think the way it's written right as is fine. And we've workshopped this before. We talked about it again today in our workshop. I don't know why this was not discussed then, because that's the reason why we invest the time in workshops, unless this was just a thought that came to right here tonight at the dais. That happens sometimes. But for the good use of time that we invest, I'd like these things to be done in workshops, not necessarily out here on the dais. If that was the case, we would just have one meeting a month and hash everything out right here tonight. So, but my stance is I see this, that we've worked through this, and it is effective, and I think that it should stand as it's written.
Board, if I could offer just a quick possible solution. It would be possible that in the interest of expediency, we could post this pending board approval with the red line of a change that you were looking for. Bring it back to you again with a final, if you wanted to do that. One of the common things that happens, for example, when they look for superintendents, they add to it the ability to obtain state certification if they don't already have it. So somebody from New York could come and become, a superintendent in Florida. Then they'd go through the certification process. You could put a similar caveat, the ability to get SHRM certification within a year if you don't have it, and then you could specify the level. And then you would have time to do the same thing you're asking, where it would still be in the preferred category, but you make it clear in the front end, this is what we want.
Well, I haven't yielded my time yet. So with that said, these certifications are just a validation that someone's completed a course in this area, this field of work. That doesn't mean that a person that applies that may have not been certified with SHRM, that's been doing it for 10 plus years, let's just use that as an example, does not have the knowledge and the skills that they teach with the SHRM certificate, and they just lack the certification. That's part of our vetting process. I've hired many people over the years in my business world that I've worked in, and you'd be surprised when you narrow the gap, you can miss a great opportunity to hire somebody that may have had the skills, but maybe didn't go as far as to reach to get the certification. And that can be easily verified by our team interviewing these candidates and checking their credentials and their resume and references. So again, I just don't see any. where if there was a harm here, if there was something that this, by changing, if we didn't do this change, that there'd be some harm to our district. I trust the district's discernment. They've done a great job of hiring excellent talent. So I lean on that track record. And secondly, we have to ultimately approve these appointments as well. So there's plenty of safeguards here if we feel that the person is unqualified. But I doubt it would come to that level to the board. So I'll yield my time.
Ms. Ruddy.
Board Chair, thank you. First, this was not just an item that I voiced some concern over this evening. I did voice concern over this job description at the workshop. The workshop is not where we make final decisions. It's where we voice concerns, and the superintendent's cabinet then may act on them. Many of them they do. In this case, that did not happen. We can go back to the record, or even, I believe, some of the local media noted my request. Secondly, in the name of operational efficiency, when you're looking, we're not talking about an entry-level role or mid-career role. This is a chief human resources officer who, yes, if they do not have the experience to provide prudent decisions when determining salary scales when they meet with new applicants or seasoned people transferring, in handling personnel cases, can lead us to risk. And when we're looking for somebody who is of the caliber that we at Flagler Schools would want to attract and retain, we want the people who are motivated to achieve such certification if they know that information. I believe that there are people who could probably sell a home, yet if they're not a certified real estate agent or have that license, they're not able to do so. We're getting hung up on the certification when really that is evidence of their experience, skill set, and drive to take a senior position such as this. And in the case of operational efficiency, by ensuring that credential or similar credentials is listed on the resume, we can more quickly determine who should receive a face-to-face interview. And when I have approved personnel, we are not provided their resume. I am not provided the 4 or 5 hours of the interview that perhaps need to happen in order to make that final board approval. And so again, we are moving towards a higher caliber organization. We want to attract and continue to attract and recruit the best in-class personnel. And so we should ask for what we want and expect in the job role. Thank you. That's all.
Chair Chong. So I just want to clarify, January 13th, we had a workshop, and I did recognize that it would make sense to have a specific certification, and I was under the impression that, it was heard, so that's why. Okay. Mr. Furry, did you have a?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So I was under the impression, so it's been on my notes, so it's not just brought up. And I also believe in credentialing and certification, as well as our district. Our students get it. So our students get several types of certifications, credentials within a time period, short time period. There are different ones, and as a board, that's not our decision ultimately to choose which one. The superintendent, she will be the one to guide that at the end of the day. So if she feels a certain one would be better working with her cabinet, but I do feel having some type of credential, not necessarily prior, but saying, okay, you are a great fit. You would be an even better fit if we had this certification. It's a subject matter expert, and within a time period that the district feels is necessary. So thank you.
Do we have a new motion?
The motion still stands. We just need to call the vote.
Before you call for the vote, I will say that I have no opposition to the adding of a professional certification equivalent. I do agree, as mentioned already, that should be broken down into a timeline that would be reasonable for that individual to achieve that. But I also want to really just push, and with the understandings that education now for sure isn't about the certification that you come in with, but really the continuous improvement and professional learning that you continue to engage in throughout the time. And though, yes, there are lots of things that are acquired through these types of certifications, they're great, and we have no opposition to if that's what the board wants to add that. But I think we are most valuable when we have opportunities for continuous improvement as times change. Some of the things that we are faced with in even human resources, but in education in general, many of those have changed over the course of the last 3 years, the course of the last 5 years, the course of the last 10 years. And you stay abreast of that by being a part of professional organization and having continuous professional learning, not based on the certification that I received at a time period. And that is what I will add. We did take in the feedback from the board members that felt like a certification, it should be required. I think that that's something that you should add as preferred, if that is what you're going to add. But that is our stance for why we drafted it in this way, is just the value of the continuous improvement through professional learning that you continue to get through the professional organizations that you're a part of.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody's input, and I see all the viewpoints for sure. So thank you. I also trust our superintendent and our district staff that she will hire the right person. I think she's doing a great job, and I trust her input on that. Okay, so we will.
Yeah, my motion was to approve it as stated.
Okay, we will call the question to approve 10.02 as it is. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All against?
Nay.
Nay.
So motion fails.
I move to propose the amendment to add a post-hire requirement that the selected candidate, if they do not already have an advanced HR certification or equivalent public sector, then they may be able to obtain within hiring. Time frame would be dependent on cabinet, superintendent, and so on.
I move to approve as amended.
Ms. Ramirez, will you state that again? I'm sorry. Got it.
Yeah, go ahead if you.
Just propose a small amendment to add a post-hire requirement that if the selected candidate does not already have some type of advanced HR certification, credential, not a specific name, or equivalent public sector HR compliance training, that they may be able to obtain that, and the time frame would be dependent on cabinet, superintendent, what they feel would be necessary depending on the specific credential that they preferred.
All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
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 Nay.
Motion carries. Okay. All right, we are now at public comments. Do I have anybody for public comment?
Ms. Cheryl Massaro.
Ms. Massaro.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent, student liaisons. This is basically a public service announcement for the community dealing with the school board. Help's wanted. Flagler School Board members. The Flagler County School Board will be electing 3 of 5 school board members in August. If you have interest in today's youth, student safety, and promoting education, this part-time job is for you. Minimal requirements include attending a minimal of 3 meetings a month, 2 in the afternoon and 1 in the evening, attendance at various school events, as well as participation in selecting monthly liaison community meetings, all while promoting educational growth for every student. Always striving to support students, families, and staff. The annual salary is $40,000 plus. Seats are currently available in the F section, the W section of Palm Coast, as well as the city of Bunnell. Applicants must retain residency once they're elected to assume the seat. For additional information about being a board member and what is required, please feel free to contact me directly. And that's Cheryl Massaro, and it would be at, my email is massarOC922@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? All right, board member requests. Do we have any requests?
Yes, I have a request. I would like to request that we place for a vote on a future board member, school board agenda, not the next, but by the following school board meeting, to make a decision regarding the fleet services. And Fleet, we've been in discussion with them for over a year now. They have come to multiple workshops. Every school board member has had the opportunity to meet with them one-on-one. Fleet is a nonprofit trust designed to help Florida school districts control employee health plan costs, more important now than ever, and improve stability through collective purchasing and transparent plan management. Fleet states participating districts can realize savings when moving into the trust, including 7 to 12% savings, which they have initially provided an estimate of approximately $1 million for our particular situation. And when moving to our fully insured, self-insured programs, which we already have, an additional 7 to 13% over 5 years compared to staying independently self-insured. Cost savings flow directly to the school system, where traditional insurance brokers benefit financially from certain promoted programs or usage numbers. Fleet instead is a fiduciary who passes those savings on to us. Because they provide a district-led structure with program management and support, I recommend we sequence our work so we do not procure duplicative services. The timing is critical because if we provide or issue an RFP for an insurance consultant or broker, that RFP may not be accurate, reflecting duplicative services that Fleet may also provide if we choose to join. Thank you.
Okay.
So the request is that this be brought to a decision-making meeting.
Yes, please.
My understanding was that Mr. Walker was supposed to get with each of us if we wanted to go forward, but do we have a consensus to bring this on the agenda?
well, this is not an agenda item for tonight. I really think that, again, this is, board member requests are just a request to have something brought back. It's not a time to discuss or debate the policy. So I would say that the request has been noted, and that will be up to the superintendent and the board chair to bring this back as an agenda item at a time certain.
I apologize. Okay. Any other board member request?
I have one other request, please. I would like to reference our policy 7250, commemoration of school facilities. I would like to propose that we workshop and begin the process to potentially rename the Flagler School's Engagement Center after Dr. Jim Gines, who served not only as an educator, a superintendent, a school board member of 11 years, was an author, founder of AMP, as well as the Make It and Take It program, which provided computers to those in need when computers were not provided through the district. He embodies the commitment to education for all and community involvement that we hope to portray and support in our organization. And so I would like to have the board evaluate and begin that process to name and dedicate that building after Dr. Jim Gines, including the signage and all that goes with it. I do believe, though, that there is an extensive process that's required according to our policies, but obviously we need to start with having it on a workshop agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ruddy. Any other board member requests? No, okay. All right, we will move on to closing comments with our student board members.
Good evening, Superintendent, Ms. Chair, School Board. I'd first like to thank you all for allowing me this opportunity to speak on the dais on behalf of all FPC students. This evening, I have just a few announcements, but not to minimize how incredible these students and their achievements are. To begin, our club Mu Alpha Theta competed in the first regional competition, bringing home a second-place trophy out of 19 attending schools. A special acknowledgement to Saeed Haider for placing 9th in the calculus division, the calculus team placing 3rd out of 23 competing teams, and Oliver Osovich for placing 8th in the pre-calc division. HOSA members competed at regionals with 9 groups and individuals, bringing home 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place trophies. Our formality singers, which you all got to experience tonight, singers Logan Walden and Colby Sean performed at the Florida All-State TTBB and concert chorus, delivering incredible performances as they did tonight. As for some of our sports, I'd like to highlight the FBC women's soccer team, who have had an outstanding and record-breaking season as they close their season 14-5-1. And if you don't know soccer, that means they won 14 games, had a draw between 5, and only lost 1 game. They also won the 5-star conference. More on some of our fantastic soccer players. A huge congratulations to DSC's dual enrollment student and soccer captain, Eva Seitz, for winning the January Rotary Club Student Athlete of the Month. Natalie Neal on her 400th career save, and Olympic Hall of Fame coach Peter Howd on his 550th win. Our cheer team placed 6 out of 17 competing teams in the FHSAA Med NY 2-state competition, as well as our girls weightlifting team, who took the 3-3A district championship in both Olympic and traditional divisions, holding 15 state championships. Baseball player Paul Bowen earned the Flagler County Sheriff's Great Kid Award, so congratulations to him. The varsity Starlets won 2nd place in the Class A division this Saturday, and Starlets hosted over 60 teams from around the world and Georgia at the FFCC National Premiere. Congratulations to Logan Jacoby on setting a new FPC school record in indoor the 60-meter dash over the weekend with a 7-second run. Some other important events include the IB FPC IB seniors who won Senior of the Month, SWAT Leo and FCA President Ella Sheffield for November, track and field and cross country star Ariana Slaughter for December, and formality singer, who you all got to experience once again tonight, Miss Mallory Blackburn for January. All Bulldogs are doing incredible things, staying involved and transitioning fantastically well into the second semester. That's all thanks to our coaches, faculty and staff, club organizers, and security team. So special thank you to them and all of you. Once again, thank you, and I hope you all have a great evening.
Thank you, Olivia. Matanzas is kicking off the second semester strong. Our cheerleaders earned second place at the FSAA regionals and competed at states. The girls soccer tied FPC. It's nice to see some friendly competition within our county. We're so proud of our athletes' academic accomplishments. For winter sports, finished the season with a combined GPA of a 3.18 for winter sports, and specifically girls weightlifting with a 3.37 and girls soccer with a 3.36. Way to strive for excellence, Pirates. On January 10th, the MHS cross-country team attended the World Cross Country Championships in Tallahassee. It was the first time in 30 years this event has ever been in the United States. This was an amazing opportunity for the runners to meet Olympic-level athletes and be immersed in their sport. On Saturday, the 31st, MHS Army ROTC is hosting the Invitational Drill and Color Guard competition for Northeast Florida. We're wishing them luck. Congratulations to George Biedenbach for making All-State as an MHS trombone player. Also, over spring break, MHS will be hosting the Florida State Solo and Ensemble event for 3 days. We look forward to supporting the arts through our school. Our January Kiwanis Senior of the Month was Megan Rhee. She will be the first person to park in the designated Senior of the Month parking spot, which was the National Honor Society's legacy project this year. Congratulations to Ella Forbes for her recognition from the Flagler Sheriff's Department. She earned the Great Student Award. On January 20th, the Flagler Ed Foundation, who we heard from tonight, hosted the Career Fair for ITMS students, spotlighting local Flagler County businesses. This event is coming to BTMS this Friday, January 30th. At this event, several Matanzas high school organizations showed up. This included ViStar student manager interns, culinary students, digital media students, the ACE cohort, law and justice, and more. On behalf of the seniors of MHS, thank you again to the Flagler Education Foundation for all of the many scholarship opportunities offered through their platform. Thank you for supporting our seniors. Yesterday, we celebrated our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Erin Davis, Rookie Teacher of the Year, Dr. Muhammad, and Employee of the Year, Mrs. Paula. Thank you all for all that you do. Student government is also up to some great things. They are soon hosting a talent show for students to enter during their lunch period to show off their special skills and talents. Coming up on February 5th, Matanzas High School is hosting their new Pirate Night Showcase. I highly encourage all 8th graders to attend, as all MHS organizations, clubs, extracurriculars, and academics will be on display. Finally, Olivia and I are hosting our final virtual Teen Town Hall meeting on February 12th. Our topic is youth vaping and local Palm Coast ordinances. It's an important and relevant topic we would love to see any middle and high school students participate in a conversation about. Thank you again for this opportunity to speak on behalf of my school.
Great work, Olivia and Ava. Thank you for being here. I'd like to first begin congratulating the two outstanding members of our Flagler Schools family. So we have Mr. Calvin Grant, the lead campus advisor at Flagler Palm Coast High School, as our District Employee of the Year, and to Miss Michelle Moore at Belterre Elementary as our Teacher of the Year for Flagler Schools. So last night was the celebration. It was amazing. So great work to the district staff and all the campuses. So we're proud for all their dedication, leadership, and everything that they do every single day, and all of the winners that were recognized. Ms. Moore, have to congratulate you again for the Leadership Florida, and then also this award today. That was pretty great. So thank you for all that you do to support our students, staff, and us as a school board and school board students. I'd also like to take a moment to share what several of us will be working on tomorrow, very bright and early, maybe some late tonight, depending on time, in Tallahassee. So because I think this is very important for our community to understand why we are advocating for you all at the state level and how it will directly impact Flagler schools. And that includes anyone in Flagler County, because even if you're not a student or you don't have a child, you may know a student or you may know a child that will be impacted. So tomorrow, alongside Ms. Ruddy and Mr. Furry, we will be meeting with our state representatives, Senator Tom Leek and Representative Sam Greco, to present Flagler County School Board legislative platform. While the platform, it includes several different topics and priorities, we're really going to focus on two key areas that are really, really important that we feel that we can get into our district like ours. So the first is our rural renaissance legislation. So Flagler County, we are part of a regional educational consortium, and that allows small and rural districts like ourselves to share resources between each other and in a very cost-effective manner. So this legislation would provide reoccurring funding and grants to strengthen those shared services, reduce duplication, and help districts like ours support better our students. And also, it would make us very, very fiscally responsible. So if passed, this could bring very meaningful additional funding to Flagler County schools, and this will help improve like how we serve our students, academics, operations, so you name it, this will really, really help. So the second focus is going to update the capital funding formulas, and this will recognize all students. So not just K through 12 students that are physically in our schools, but you have to remember we have VPK. They're not in the formula. We have adult educators. They're not in our formula. So how are we providing the funds for that, right? So the formula doesn't include them. And so right now the state only recognizes those. So, Flagler Schools, we're gonna, try and do what we can tomorrow and just do what we can and continue that to make sure that these formulas, they reflect accurately what we're serving, the numbers really. And it just makes sense mathematically to do that. So we're gonna try and work on that. We're advocating for more accurate and fair funding, and it will reflect everything and, again, give high-quality student outcomes. And at the end of the day, so these efforts, we're going to do the best that we can, and we really tried last year as well, so we're going to just, all you can do is try. And so we've been preparing and planning, and we're going to go in with good vibes. So we're asking for everyone to send us good vibes, and we want to thank our community for trusting us to go, and we're very excited. We're going to collaborate and just stay warm. All right. So have a great night, and thank you all.
Yes, thank you so much. Last night was amazing, and I love seeing all the school board members present to join in the celebration. In addition to Mr. Grant and more, want to congratulate Mr. Bosterdette, Principal of the Year, and Ms. Abersay, Assistant Principal of the Year, who really gave tremendous speeches last night. You could tell their passion, their dedication, and it was very inspirational, and why they're so successful as rallying their faculty behind them to accomplish such great things. And I, too, want to congratulate you, Ms. Moore, for your award tonight from such a wonderful organization, as well as your leadership recognition. I'm sorry that you're going to miss the Tallahassee event, but understand you're working hard to continue your education with your ECHR program, so that's great. So Ms. Ramirez spoke to the items that we're going to be advocating for in Tallahassee, but remember, you as well can help support the advocacy of those initiatives. Remember, Representative Greco does have an office in Palm Coast. You don't have to travel all the way to Tallahassee. You can, as a member of the public, reach out, and providing your vocal support for the Rural Renaissance Project would go a long way. If you need more information about that project, we're happy to get some documentation to you. Feel free to reach out to us. One item that we won't be speaking on yet because it's still really up in the air is property taxes. And I just want to speak a little bit to this because there has been some communication and questions. Well, if I don't have children in public schools, why should I pay the public school portion of the property tax? However it ends up shaking out, whether property taxes are going to be eliminated, funding has to come from somewhere. right? But I just wanted to share some insight into the benefits of what property taxes do for the schools and therefore for those who don't have children in the public schools currently. First, I want to remind you that the amount of property taxes that you pay that go to the schools would actually never cover the entire educational costs for even if you had one child. So if you've had at least one child in the public schools, your lifetime amount of property taxes would not break even to what we receive and therefore spend. So that's one item. But also they support safe schools, strong teachers, career and technical programs, exceptional student services. And those benefits are reflected in our community. They increase property values when we have great schools. We attract better employers, higher paying jobs, and reduce long-term social costs, and contribute to building a skilled workforce that keeps our local economy healthy. Nurses, first responders, small business owners all rely on solid foundations in their public schools. And so we all benefit as a result, whether we have ever had children in a public school. And so that's why investing in property taxes or whatever form that they're moved to, increased sales tax, whatever it might be, it's a community commitment in stability, opportunity, and shared success. Thank you.
Yes, I share many of the accolades to our staff that were honored last night, and that is one of my most favorite nights of the year, just to see the joy in the room, the celebration, the music, the bass pumping, and as they walk down the hall, the aisle, each one just expresses themselves in ways that just shows how excited they really are. And it is nice that we take that time to honor these staff members that definitely distinguish themselves amongst their peers. And also, I was really honored to participate in the MLK Day Parade. I want to thank the organizers for that. It was well run. It was a great day. We had our bus there. We had the children on the bus, most of them from Bunnell Elementary, and they were a hoot. Miss Ruddy and I were both on the bus prior to the parade, interacting with them. But it was a great event for a great community. And also earlier today in our workshop, we got an update on some of our capital projects, and really great, big shout out to Corey Bush and his team for successfully completing some major projects, over $25 million worth of improvements to our schools. We added over 300 student stations, and the most amazing thing is that every one of them came in under budget. And that is rare that you see that feat in today's world. That just shows you that we do hire great talent here, talent that cares, talent that respects the taxpayer's dollar. And I'm just grateful for the achievement and accomplishment of the addition of Matanzas High School, which I was it is wonderful when you can approve a project and see it completed within your tenure. That is a pretty rewarding thing. But it's all for the kids. It's all for the community. Also, we updated our baseball field and our locker rooms there at FPC. And the other project was, can you help me out? What was the other one? With the baseball. The chillers, yeah, the chillers. And these chillers are gonna provide us more efficient operation of our cooling system, which what was told to us that we will be saving about potentially $5,000 a month in electricity because of this upgrade. And FP&L gave us a rebate of $220,000 because we made this investment in efficient cooling at our schools. And it will only get better because that system will be expanded to eventually cool the entire school, not just the new addition. So great things are coming there. Just want the taxpayers to know that we're watching your dollars and spending them wisely. And I am also very excited to participate again in going to Tallahassee and meeting with our elected officials, with my colleagues here, and we're going to be up advocating for some of the items that Ms. Ramirez and Ms. Ruddy had already mentioned, so I won't bring them up again. We hope we'll be successful for you. We got to get through session. We want these things they have to get voted between the House and the Senate and hopefully signed off by the governor. So that's part of the process. That's what you elected us to do, and we're going to go do it for you. So thank you all for being here tonight, and have a great evening.
Thank you. I also have to say congratulations to our employees and teachers of the year, Ms. Moore and Mr. Grant. Also congratulations to Ms. Say and Mr. Bosserdett. You know, it's an honor that we get to be a part of that, and it's, you know, just one of the positives of being on the board, to get to celebrate with everybody and, yes, see their personalities and get to celebrate with our teachers and staff. So very excited for them, and congratulations. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how y'all are successful this week. I think it'll be good, and hoping and praying we'll get some more funding for Flagler schools. Other than that, I hope everybody stays warm. I'm still hoping for some Florida snow. So,
possible.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good evening. As I stated, we just finished the 101st day of school, and you know why it is important? It's because it's the only 101st day of school we will have this year. And so we count each day, not counting up or counting out to anything, but really identifying each day as its own opportunity for us to do great things for our community and great things for young people. And so we're super excited. I want to just share some updates. I want to say, yes, last night was fabulous. It was great. I laughed, I danced, and, you know, I'm always surprised at who is going to become the next teacher of the year, the employee of the year. I find out on stage. The only thing that I request is I say to the team, make sure it is written phonetically so I can say the name correctly. But it is a great evening, and well-deserving. All of our rookies, all of our teachers, all of our employees of the year, and of course our AP and our principal of the year. I want to shout out some important dates that we are going into over the next few weeks. February 1st, we start control open enrollment. As you know, the school board approved a policy that would allow for us to really open choice up to all of our schools at a threshold, at a different threshold for capacity. And we're excited about that, because what we want to do is we want families to be able to select the school that they want their child to be educated in. And so if you are in elementary or middle school, please go on and do the control open enrollment application. If you are in high school, it gets a little bit different at high school. At high school, if you want to go to Matanzas High School or Flagler Palm Coast High School specifically for ACE or for IB, you can be accepted into that school, but if you want to be in one of those programs, you have to be accepted into that program. So there is a separate application for IB and a separate application for ACE. And all of that will be on our website for you to see. Friday, as Ms. Rizzo indicated, Friday we'll have our career fair for Buddy Taylor. That is extremely important because it gives our students an opportunity to see the programs of choice and study that they have available to them at both of the high schools so that they can begin the course selection process. So on February 5th, let me make sure I don't mix up my days. On February 5th, Matanzas High School will have equivalent to like an open house night for our incoming freshmen that are considering going to Matanzas High School. And then on February 10th, you will be able to go to Flagler Palm Coast High School if you are wanting to consider going to Flagler Palm Coast High School. Then we will start the course selection process. Something we've talked about a lot that maybe you're getting tired of, but I'm going to keep talking about is Diploma Plus. We want our students to graduate with a high school diploma plus something else. These nights give you an opportunity to see what our pluses look like and what they mean in post-secondary equivalency. So please, please, please go out and be a part of that. As it was mentioned, it's getting cold. And if you have a child at home that does not have a coat, please call your school. We have the stuff bus closet that is provided to us through the Flagler Education Foundation. And we have jackets and coats and all the things that are fundamental to cold weather. We have that available at each of our schools. So families, please reach out to your school if you are in need of that. The Teen Town Hall that I participated in, you ladies did an amazing job. Thank you so much. And I know the next one will be great as well. I also want to recognize Ms. Lauren Ramirez. You didn't talk about the fact that she just got her certification as a school board member. So congratulations to you on your hard work. I want to say thank you for the recognition that was brought forward tonight and the proclamation also from the city of Palm Coast. And I want to use my last few seconds to talk about the quote that I have on the bottom of my signature about not wanting to be famous, but be impactful. People see me, they know who I am because of the position that I sit in or because of the positions that I've held in the past. But for me, I don't want them just to know that I'm the superintendent. I want them to be able to connect me to a success that I have made within our community. And so it brings me great joy when I see our students, when I see our family, when I see our community, and they can point back to the success that we've had here in our community. And I will tell you, I could not do it without a team of people. You see me, and there's a quote that says, I come as one, but stand at 10,000, right? But it's a team of people that are working alongside me each and every day. You see some of them here in these board meetings, but it's our chiefs, it is our directors, our coordinators, our teachers, our employees, our administrators, all of them. And so often I get the recognition, but it's really for their work. And so I appreciate the opportunity to serve as superintendent. And I'm going to take a point of privilege because it's the first month of the year to read our guiding principles. Children first. Trust and respect for all, empower others, teamwork, excellence, quality, and consistency, commitment to individual needs, and then get to yes. Thank you, and I hope you have a good night.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.